Hi everyone, today we're going to be making the Audrey dress. Audrey is a mini drop waist dress. It has beautiful buttons on the front, princess seams, a low back, and you zip it closed with an invisible zipper. You can find this and many more beautiful patterns on our website or on our Etsy. Both are linked on our description. Audrey comes in sizes 32 to 50 and it's recommended for intermediate or experienced sewists. Here's a list of everything you're going to need for this tutorial. You can also find all of this information in the pattern booklet. For this tutorial, we're going to be using an eyelet cotton fabric for the main fabric and cotton fabric for the lining. The first thing we're going to do is print and assemble the pattern. In this case, I'm using Adobe Acrobat to print only one of the sizes. Adobe Acrobat is completely free, so you can download it, and once you open the PDF, you'll notice you see all of the sizes, but once you open the layers, you can turn on and off the layers you want. So I'm using size 36, which means I'm only going to leave that size open. And then you can just go ahead and print as normal. Here I have the printed pattern, and the first 2 pages is mostly information about the pattern. So you get the size key, size chart, the finished garment, and the layout of this pattern. In this case, I printed the US format, but you could also print the A0 format or the A4 format. And now to assemble the pattern, you just have to match the squares on the corners. I'm going to start by assembling the first row. And you're going to assemble the rest of the rows the same way. And then we're going to connect each row together just like this, aligning the same squares. Now you should have your entire pattern, so you can cut all of the pieces separately. These are your 3 front panels, and these are your back panels, and your lower panel. It's time to cut the pattern pieces on fabric. This ended up being my layout for the size 36, and these are the main pattern pieces. And this was the layout I came up with for the lining fabric. Once you've cut all of your pattern pieces, you're going to transfer the notches from the pattern to the fabric by making small cuts, just like this. Grab your front bodice A panel, and we're going to mark the placement of the buttonholes using thread. But remember, you're only going to mark these on the right panel, not on the left one. I first helped myself with some pins and some fabric pens, so I could mark exactly where I want the thread to go. Once you've transferred all of the notches for the buttonholes, you can grab some contrasting thread. In this case, I'm using red, and you can start hand stitching where you want the buttonholes to go. This will help as a guide as you sew the garment. Once you're done, it should look something like this. And now we're going to use some fusible interfacing to cover the buttonholes on the back side of the fabric. This strip is 5 centimeters wide. Now, using your main front A and B panels, you're going to attach them together by making sure they match the corresponding side. Remember, we marked some notches earlier, so use these as a guide to know if you're pinning everything correctly. After stitching, we're going to make some cuts on the seam allowance so we can press the seam open properly. And we're going to do the same with the lining panels. Next, we're going to sew together both A and B back panels. Remember to also use the notches as a guide. And you're basically going to attach them the same way as you did with the front panels. Remember to repeat the steps on the lining panels. And now that you have your front and back panels ready, we're going to attach them on the sides. And we're going to leave a 1 centimeter seam allowance as always. Before you press the seam open, remember to make some cuts on the seam allowance. Grab one of your front panels and its corresponding lining panel, and you're going to face them right sides together just like this. And we're going to stitch the center front, leaving a 1 centimeter seam allowance. Make sure to press the seam open. You're going to repeat these steps with the other sides of the front panels. As you might recall, we have some notches on the main panels, and we're going to fold them right there so we can press right at that line. Now this is how your front panel should look like, and remember to repeat this on the other side. On that same panel, we're going to face the front sides together, and we're going to stitch closed the neckline and the armhole. Remember to match the seams. So you're going to sew the front neckline, the armhole, and the back neckline. You're not going to stitch over the straps. It's really important we make some cuts on the seam allowance before turning the project inside out. It's time to give it a good press. You're going to follow these steps on the other front panel, and they both should look something like this. Face both front panels right sides together, and we're going to stitch the main panels together from the notch down. So in the center back we have some notches, and we're going to pin over there so we can stitch. Here's where the invisible zipper will go. After that, you can attach your zipper. So open it up and move onto one of the sides by facing the corresponding side of the zipper with the corresponding side of the center back. You're going to start pinning from the bottom of the notch towards the top. Using an invisible zipper foot, you're going to start stitching from the seam as close as you can to the zipper teeth until you reach down the notch. My zipper was a little bit longer, so we're going to trim that off later, but now we can move on to the other side and attach it the same way as we did with the first one. Sometimes I help myself by moving the zipper pull just to make sure I'm pinning in the right place. We want to make sure our zipper looks perfect once it's done, so make sure to take your time during these steps. Face both lining back panels together, and you're going to stitch from the notch down, as we did with the main panel. Since my zipper was too long, I just moved the zipper tape towards the side like this, and you're going to place the lining facing the right side of the fabric, and you're going to pin all through the zipper tape. And you're going to stitch over the zipper tape, making sure not to go over the zipper teeth. Here's where I cut off the extra zipper tape, which is not necessary if your zipper tape was exactly the right size. Now you can just flip these panels inside out, and we're going to press so the zipper looks really nice. To close the shoulders, you're going to insert the back shoulders into the front shoulders like this. Then you're going to grab the shoulders through the bottom of the bodice, making sure to grab all 4 layers, and you're going to straight stitch, leaving a 1 cm seam allowance. You're going to repeat this for both sides of the front panel. Now we're going to overlap both front panels using the notches as guides, and we're going to top stitch really close to the edge of the top front bodice up till the 10th buttonhole. Your bodice should be looking something like this. Now we can fasten the bottom edges of the main and lining bodice together, just to make sure they're right where they're supposed to be. And make sure that the seams align with the seams of the lining. Now measure the entire length of that bottom edge and write that number down. Grab your front and back main skirt panels, and you're going to face them together and stitch them on the sides. Don't forget to overcast or zigzag stitch the edges as well. And make sure to press the seam towards one side. Now we're going to make 2 gathering stitches on the top edge, about 5 millimeters from the edge, and the other one 1 centimeter from the edge. Make sure you're using a low tension and large stitch setting so you can pull from the thread. You're going to gather the skirt panel until it measures the same length as the measurement of the bottom edge of the main bodice panel. And you're going to prepare your lining skirt panel like this too. Now we're going to attach the lower part of the dress to the upper part of the dress. Make sure to match the right side of the main skirt panel with the bodice, and you're going to flip it over it just like this and start by matching the side seams so you can pin all around the waist. And it's time to stitch the waistline together. Leave a 1 cm seam allowance. We're going to repeat these steps to attach the skirt lining. And now you can overcast or zigzag stitch all of the layers together. We're almost done with the dress, but first we have to hem it. I decided to make a double rolled hem, so I just folded the edge once, pressed, and folded once again, pressed it, and then stitched. Remember, you're going to repeat the steps on the lining panel. The last thing we need to do is make the buttonholes and attach the buttons. As you know, the dress is closed on the lower 10 buttonholes, so there we just have to attach the buttons, but on the top we do have to make buttonholes. Once they're ready, open them up using a seam ripper so we can mark where the buttons will go. To mark this, you just place both button plackets together, and using a fabric marker, you're going to make some dots where the buttons need to go. And now you can just hand stitch them where they're supposed to be. And your Audrey dress is finally done, and I guarantee you'll fall in love with this dress. And if you like this video, make sure to subscribe to our channel and visit our Instagram. Thank you for watching.